Let's start practice questions. Section A practice question. The exam attempt March-June 2021. Let's start. So the way we will conduct the session accordingly, that I will give you some time, you have to attempt it, and then I will attempt the question with the particular examiner comments as well. Now come on, this is example 1. You have to attempt first. This is what section A type question. This is what section A type questions. Now come on. What should be the answer? You have to work out. The question. The expected future spot in 1 year is 1.4505 euro per dollar. The predicted inflation rate for the year ahead are Eurozone, dollars Eurozone 2% per year, dollar 3.5%. So if you are sitting in the examination hall and you said that, yes, this is a time for the working, the very first important thing is that what is the particular topic to cover? What is the particular topic to cover? So here the topic about the Forex. Here is the topic about the Forex. Yes. Here is the topic about Forex. And particular the issue about purchasing power parity theory. Question 1. That is about purchasing power parity theory. So for the sake of the purchasing power parity theory, you have to remind your basic working is that estimated spot is equal to spot now multiply by 1 plus inflation A divided by 1 plus inflation B. The very important point is that what is inflation A or B? Inflation A or B depends how the rate is given. If the rate is given euro per dollar, so here inflation A is equal to numerator, and that is about Eurozone, which is 1.02%. And inflation B is equal to dollar, and here the case about 3.5%. The another important point here, what the examiner is asking, here examiner is asking about the current spot rate. Here the examiner asking about current spot rate and mentioning 4 decimal places. So here with this case, estimated spot is given. The issue is about the current spot. So we have already given the estimated spot. And the estimated spot is equal to 1.4505 euro per dollar. Euro per dollar. So definitely we have to rearrange this formula. We have to rearrange this formula. And how to work out with the rearrangement of this formula accordingly? We have to rearrange this formula in this manner that 4505, that is estimated spot, divided by 1 plus inflation rate. And what is the inflation rate? That is about 1.02 divided by 1.035. And on that basis, you will find out the answer. That is 1.71835. 1.71835. This will be the answer. And then we will put the answer accordingly with the blank 1.4718. Because examiner mentioned 4 decimal places. Can you please reply me? Is that clear to all of you? How we identified the answer? Now, after the question, we have to compare the answer with the examiner report. This is what the examiner report, and this is what the question I picked with this particular examiner report. My point is not to discuss the solution. I have done the solution. We have done it. But the point is that what the examiner particular mention here as a complaint or highlight the mistake. Many candidates switched the inflation rates and instead calculation in this point. That is 1.4505 divided by using the wrong inflations. That is euro per dollars. That is wrong inflation. The important point is that students sometimes confuse which is numerator and which is denominator. That should be very much clear that numerator and denominator of the inflation must be based on the availability of the information. Here the information is available euro per dollar. So you have to incorporate euro inflation as numerator and dollar inflation as denominator. That is the basic thing. That's all. Here you don't want to spend your time or waste your time to identify direct or indirect code. No. Just identify which is inflation A, which is inflation B based on the availability of the rate. Euro per dollar, that means purchasing power parity theory or interest rate parity theory. Numerator is euro, inflation numerator euro, initial denominator dollars. That's all. Okay, it's clear to all of you. Now the next point. So candidates, is that clear all of you? How we will work out the questions accordingly. Number one, the question, I will give you a small time to attempt it. Number one. Number two, then I will attempt it with the concept. Number three, then compare the answer with the examiner expectations and identify the mistake. So that's the step. Now, number two, example number two. Read it. Example number two. Example number two, it's about something, related to financial management environment. Which of the following statements relating to money market instruments is or are correct? Candidates, very important thing. If you people are working with the revision and you identify some syllabus area which you feel that I haven't covered that. So rather than to choose randomly or without any knowledge, I strongly suggest you must have to go for your basic syllabus areas. For example, if this is the question about money market, if this is about the question of the money market, you must have aware that what is about money market. Money market is a topic that's covered with the financial management functions, financial management environment. You must have to know that money market is a financial market where short-term debt instruments are traded. Short-term debt instruments are traded. And this is for the sake of lenders, that's investors, and the borrowers as well. And here the debt instruments are traded where they trade having the maturity less than a year, 6 months bonds, 3 months bonds. The company can also work out here as a borrower or as a lender, and the government also involved here. This is what you must have to aware about. What is the purpose? The purpose of this money market is for investor to earn the returns and for the borrower as well, who need a short-term liquidity. So both parties here, borrower, government may also a borrower, banks may also a borrower, companies may also a borrower. Borrower, they issued the bonds. Sorry, they issued the instruments. And the investor will buy this. But this market for the trading of bonds for the short term. So what are the types? The types are CP, commercial papers. The commercial papers are categorized specifically for companies. The T-bills for government bonds. The series by the banks. So these are the categorization. Many more things also part of that particular financial markets. Money market, I'm sorry. Money market. But you must have to aware that this is the extract of the BBB book. These money market instruments, some are discount based. Discount means issued at discount. For example, I am a company issuing commercial paper. I need to borrow 100 rupees. Sorry, I wanted to arrange 95 rupees. So I am going to issue the 100 rupees commercial paper with the discount of 95 for the month of 3 months. I will collect the money, issue the bonds of 100 with the discounted fees of 95, 5 rupee discount. I'm going to issue that particular bonds and collecting as a borrower 95. But I will repay after 3 months the 100 rupees. The lender who will buy my bonds will purchase, will invest the money 95 and get the money after 3 months 100. So these discount instruments are not interest bearing. Rather than lender will receive the benefit, the difference between 100 and 95, that's called discounted. And the company will pay the extra amount as interest. That's the difference between 95 or 100. So money market includes discount instruments. That's T-bills, BA, bankers acceptance or commercial paper. Some interest bearing as well. That I'm going to issue 100 rupees as a company. I'm issue the certificate of deposits 100 rupees and collect 100 rupees, repay 100 rupees, but I will pay interest for the 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or 1 year. These are short dated for the interest percentage of 2% per year, 3% per year. So this are interest bearing. And money market also having a scope for the trading of the derivatives, forward, options, swaps. These are also tradable with the money market, but having different categories. So first of all, you must have to aware about what are these, then apply accordingly. Now you must have to tell me first, even you people are watching the video, no worries. Ask yourself, examiner asks which of the following statement relating to money market is or are correct. Number one, discounted instruments do not pay coupon interest. Number one. Number two, commercial papers is secured on asset by issuing company. Do remember that these short dated bills are never secured. These are not secured. They are unsecured matters. Now you tell me what should be the answer here out of A, B, C, and D. The only A is correct. The only A is correct. That is the point. The only A is correct. Or only first statement is correct. 2, it's not correct. C, 1 and 2, it's not correct because the point is that we have a knowledge that discount instrument do not pay coupon interest. Okay, we are confident that this is right. And commercial paper is secured on asset. It's not secured. So first statement is right, second is wrong. So that means 1 is right. Now what examiner is saying here? Examiner is saying here. Number 1, examiner mentioning that what is wrong, what is right, what is the reason. So reason is that discount instrument origin sold as a below the fair price and do not pay interest. And CP is unsecured money market instruments. That's the point. Number 2, examiner particular mention candidates' response were fairly evenly split across the 4 answers, indicating lack of knowledge, different types of money market instruments. So first you have to know that what is about the knowledge of the syllabus area. That's a key point. So first thing is that knowledge, then applying the practice. So what we have concluded here, we have concluded that whatever something we are attempting, first of all, we must ensure that I have a good knowledge. If I don't have good knowledge, I will work out to study this or review this, then apply the thing. And whenever you apply the thing, it may right, it may wrong. It doesn't matter. But the important thing is that you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. That's the key point. So can you please reply me? Is that clear, all of you? How we are working accordingly? Can you please reply me? Is this the way beneficial for you? It's not just about the practice. It's provide you the right direction, how you will prepare, how will you will revise the things accordingly. That's the key point. That is called qualitative revision. That is called qualitative revision. Now come on. The next one. That is example 3. You people already have. This question. Now, read it carefully. Whatever you think, apply this. Okay. Now, if you have read that particular question, first thing, the important thing that you have identified that this is about the working capital. This is about the working capital. And here the theoretical aspect of the working capital that is related to uh, the working capital financing, working capital financing policy. So the very first thing that you must have to aware that working capital financing policy about. Number one, conservative policy. Conservative policy means working capital, WCI working capital investment more reliance on long-term finance. Aggressive policy working capital investment more reliance on short-term finance, STF, short-term finance. Matching working capital investment, that is permanent working capital, PWC working capital, with long-term finance and working capital investment, fluctuating working capital with short-term finance. Means according to the nature of the investment, you have to support it. But these are too extreme. Conservative, where working capital more about long-term finance, less risky, but costly solution. Resulting lower return. Aggressive, high risk, means more reliance on bank ODs, availability of the short-term finance, but resulting higher return. Which one is better? It's not the concern point. Which one is better is not the concern point. It's not the concern point which one is better. It depends on the nature of the system. If you have good enough knowledge with this area, then you can apply accordingly. Now we have to work out. I know that this is tricky. But we have to work out accordingly. It doesn't matter what's right or what's wrong. Two companies, A and B, Acacia and BIC, have the following average level of working capital. Average level of the working capital. Okay. Working capital level A, Acacia and BIC. Minimum and maximum. The terminology we can use for minimum as permanent, no? Permanent, at least we need it. Acacia need the minimum. The minimum 6 required, and here 9 required. And the difference between 6 and 10 is fluctuating. Here 9 and 12 is fluctuating. Okay. So sometimes required the 4 at Acacia, sometimes required the BIC. The difference of 3 is sometimes not. But minimum, the permanent, they required the 6. Okay. Now, Acacia working capital is financed. Working capital, Acacia finance 4 million for the long-term debt. And BRIC's working capital finance 9 million with the long-term debts. 9 million with the long-term debts. The balance of finance from short-term. Now, one by one, what about the Acacia? The long-term debt, it's about 4. Means Acacia A. Here Acacia. Only 4 million long-term, 4 million from long-term finance. but the total working, but the working capital investment, the permanent, that is 9 minus 4 is equal to 5 with the short term. Means majority of the permanent nature related to the long term finance. Oh, sorry, related to short term finance. And furthermore, the fluctuating 100% related to short term. Majority of the permanent working capital investment and 100% of fluctuating belongs to short term. So what you will say that A belongs to conservative or aggressive? A belongs to aggressive or conservative? What is any point you can say? Even you people are watching the video, what you will say? If you will not reply me, that how I can assess that where the direction of the class is going on? So once again, here we are discussing that what should be the conservative, what should be the aggressive. That's the key point, huh? What should be the conservative and what should be the aggressive? That is the key point. So we have to cover the things accordingly. It's not about that no answer. That should be some answer. Now listen carefully. Number one, once again, number one, the investment. And here is the finance. Two different things. So here we are talking about working capital. Working capital, okay? Here we are talking about working capital. Why working capital investment required? Required for the reason of inventory. The reason of receivables means debtors. So these two are the reasons of in working capital that need to maintain. Okay. And this total working capital investment further capitalize into two parts. Some of the nature of permanent and some of the nature of temporary. Some of the nature are permanent and some of the nature are temporary. Means, for example, we are electronic appliances company, and there are some seasonal variation with that electronic appliance. For example, normally each year we offer the sale at the end of the December. So by December and January is the month where our demand is normally 40% up. Demand is 40% up. So there are two seasons. We can categorize our demand into two parts: 10 months and 2 months. Seasonal variation for 2 months, December, January, and the rest of the 10 months. So definitely the level of inventory and debtors increases for the time being, for the seasonal variation. So that's called fluctuations. So very important thing. Some of the inventory on debtor level when increase at 2 months, that's called temporary nature. But remaining term months, whatever the minimum level required, that is called permanent. Now, the another important point, any of the investment in the business required finance. Some of the long-term finance. Long-term finance, for example, here not equity, the loan, the debts. Long-term finance. LTF, long-term finance. The loan. Here we are talking about debts. And here about loan. Here about loan. And short-term finance. Once again, debts. And here bank overdraft. If any of the finance is arranged through the loan, that is less risky, but high cost. That is the first thing. Short-term finance, for example, bank OD. High risk. Why high risk? Because if we are taking long-term loan for 5 years, bank will never demand during 5 years to repay the loan. But bank OD, for example, the arrangement of the bank OD for 2 months. The arrangement of the bank OD is 2 months. So bank will ask the bank overdraft for repayment of the bank OD after 2 months. So actually bank OD is high risk. We have to repay by 2 months. But this is low cost. Why low cost? Because it's flexible. Whenever I required the bank OD, I will avail. If I don't want to the bank loan, I will not avail. So that's the difference between the bank loan, bank OD and the loans. That's a key point. So now, what I said here, our working capital investment is 2 categories, permanent and temporary. And what I mentioned here, we will be aggressive if majority of the working capital investment is reliance on short term. If we reliance more on short term, we will be more aggressive, more risky. And how it's matter? For example, aggressive here the case about working capital investment for permanent nature and the fluctuating nature. Majority belongs to short term. Do reply me. Is this statement clear to you? This statement, this red one. We will be aggressive. Now, come on here. Acacia, maximum 10, minimum 6. Minimum is permanent. The difference between 6 and 10 is fluctuating. Acacia working capital finance 4 million, only 4 million long term. So we required Acacia 4 million long term working capital investment. The permanent The permanent 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. 9 minus 5 is equal to 5. Means the permanent majority with the short term and the fluctuating 100% short term sorry, it's not 9 minus 4. It's about 10 minus 4. Sorry. 10 minus 4, that is 6. So Acacia, only 4 million. The long-term finance only cover. The long-term finance only 4 million covers. 4 million covers the permanent. The, the 6 million. Okay, I'm writing this matter once again. Acacia, long-term finance with the working capital 4. Okay. Next, the permanent, the working capital permanent, we have 6. And out of 6, 4 cover with the long term. The working capital permanent, the remaining part, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2 related to long term. And the working capital fluctuating, the fluctuating is 10 minus 6 is equal to 4 is related to short term. Are you getting the point? Means Acacia, only 4 million belongs to, only 4 million of the long term support to the working capital permanent. But the working capital permanent 2 million and the working capital fluctuating 4 million, that belongs to short term. So is this aggressive or conservative or matching? What you will say? Can you please reply me? Here, listen carefully. Acacia, working capital investment, maximum is equal to 10 and minimum, that is, now come on, 6. So number one, this minimum means permanent. Is that clear? And the fluctuating is equal to 4. Number one. Now, this is working capital investment. Now, working capital finance. Come on. Working capital finance. We have long-term finance to support working capital. That is only that is only 4 long-term finance. Now, what you will say? Now, what you will say? Long-term finance only 4 million. This 4 million support for what? Is this supportive for the permanent? Do reply me, yes or no. Is this supportive, complete support for the minimum? Complete support of the minimum. Is this 4 complete support of permanent? No. You must tell me here the minimum means permanent working capital. Permanent working capital required total 6. Long-term finance, that is 4. Short-term finance, that is 2. So here the short-term finance to support for permanent working capital and all fluctuating. How much the fluctuating? That is 4. So it means short-term finance requirement 2 plus 4, that is 6. So do let me know the working capital requirement is more reliance to what? Long term or short term? Working capital finance is reliance on what? Long term or short term? Yes, remaining people also reply me. Josephine and others, please reply me. Omar and other persons also reply me. We are more reliance on what? Short term. If working capital finance is more reliance on short term, either we will be more risky or less risky. Do reply me. If we rely more on short term, will we be more risky or less risky? More risky. If we are more risky, then either we aggressive or conservative. Either we aggressive or conservative. Either we aggressive or conservative. Yes, we will be aggressive. That is what we discuss here. Now, leave it. Okay. So number 1, we will match the point that here ACASA working capital funding strategy is aggressive here. Number 1. Now you let me know, what about the BIRS working capital? You let me know, what about the BIRS working capital? No. There are 3 strategies: aggressive, conservative, and matching as well. Matching means not more reliance on anywhere, that match the concept. Matching means, yes, matching means working capital, working capital permanent with long term and working capital fluctuating with short term. Now, identify, what about the bridge? First of all, identify what is the working capital investment. The permanent is 9. And what about the fluctuating? Fluctuating is 12 minus 9 is equal to 3. This is working capital investment. Now working capital finance. Working capital finance. mention long-term finance is equal to 9. Now what you will say? Long-term finance. You know very well that long-term finance is 9 and that is matched with permanent. So what do you say that? That means permanent attached with long-term and fluctuating attached with short-term. That means short-term finance, the balance is equal to fluctuating. Now, can you please review your answer? What is the BITS working capital financing? Is this aggressive, permanent, or aggressive, permanent? Oh, sorry, aggressive, conservative, or matching? That's great. That's great. That is called the bridge working capital funding strategy is equal to matching. So you have to click the things accordingly. So first, the very important thing is that whenever you are attempting any question, you must have to aware that what is about the actual topic. Now make a quick brief. You must have to aware the very important point, and the point is that working capital financing policy having 3 categories: conservative, aggressive, matching. Financing policy always read with investment. So if working capital finance is supported majority about working capital finance supported investment supportive majority by long term, that means conservative. Majority about short term, aggressive. But if we connect like with like, means permanent nature working capital investment with long term finance, that's and fluctuating nature of working capital investment requirement match with short term finance, that means we are at matching strategy. I hope, can you please reply me quickly? Is that clear, all of you? Quick reply. Is that crystal clear, all of you? I must say, is that crystal clear, all of you? That's good. Now, what examiner says about this? Examiner says, number 1. That's good. That's good. Now, the very important other point. Here, examiner wording. Acacia has 4 million long-term finance, but permanent working capital 6 million. And using short-term finance to both fluctuating and some part of permanent working capital. This is what the aggressive. BITS 9 billion working capital, permanent 9 million, and short-term fluctuating, therefore matching. Neither company using long-term finance for fluctuating and would be conservative approach. Means if any of the company using majority of the long-term finance for majority of the long-term investment, including for fluctuating capital, that's called we are very much backup or conservative approach. Here examiner comment. Many candidates did incorrectly identify BIRCH as following conservative strategy. So We are very much concerned to determine conservative and aggressive. Least concerned about matching. So matching is also a strategy. That is the point. So that's another point. Now, one more. Example 4. Then we will move for the section B. Example 4. We are here to discuss that how to handle the things according to section A. Then we will move for the section B. Then we will move for the section C accordingly. Now come on. Example 4. Read it. Bilbo company is unlisted company. With 800,000 issued shares. Seema is one of the founders and owns 20% of issued shares. Bilbo company just paid its annual dividend. 0.3 per share. It is expected that the new year dividends will be 0.32 per share. After that, it is expected that dividend will grow indefinitely 2% per year. Shareholder are expected 20% returns of the investment. Using dividend valuation model, calculate value of Seema's shareholding. Values of Seema's shareholding. So, number one, actually, the value is calculated accordingly. Value per share, that is the mindset, per share. By DVM, dividend valuation model, and multiply by 80,000 shares, multiply by 20%. That is what about the question. That is the first thing. Another important thing. The very critical point here. This is what the structure of the question. The very important point is there. Value of share means P naught by dividend valuation model. Although it's exam formula, there's no doubt about it, exam formula. But the concept behind present value of future dividend. And the formula is P naught is equal to T naught current dividend. 1 plus growth divided by KE minus growth. So number one, here KE is given, that is investor required return. That is 0.12. Growth indefinitely per year, 2%. But after 1 year, 2%, 0.02. And what does that mean? D naught 1 plus growth. What does that mean? That means D naught means current year dividend. Current year dividend. But D naught 1 plus growth, that is next year dividend. That is next year dividend. Now come on. Current year dividend, next year dividend. So here examiner mentioned that here. The very important thing. The expected next year dividend will be 0.32 per share. So here we required that is 0.32. This 0.32 1 year growth, that includes 1 year growth. So what we will do with this scenario? With this scenario, we will do 0.32 divided by KE 0.12 minus 0.02. Is this clear to all of you? Is equal to 0.32 divided by 0.12 minus 0.02. That is the rate. That is the rate. And the number of shares is equal to 80,000 multiplied by 0.8, 64,000 is equal to 3.2 multiplied by this one. That is 204 something. Mistake here. Sorry, 800,000. And we have 20% share. Sorry. That is 512,000. That is the point. 512,000. This is the question matter. 512,000. And what is the examiner comment here? Many candidates. Now, come on. Many candidates did not take the given figure for D1 and either use dividend just paid 2% growth to the answer 48960, or incorrectly added growth 2% to the given dividend to answer this one. Means the students haven't clearly get the concept. The concept is present value future cash flow. The concept is D not 1 plus growth, that's next year dividend. That is the point. So what is the conclusion about all these questions? That's important. That's you must have to notice. This is very much important, the examiner comments. Conclusion. Candidates should read the question carefully, the instructions, the examiner expectations. So you have to develop your revision strategy with this content. Number one, read the question carefully. Follow the instructions on how answer the question. For example, if question asks candidates select 2 correct statements, then marks can be awarded if 2 statements have been selected. No partial markings. So answer only select 1 statement will award no marks. So if you are good with your knowledge, so first thing is knowledge. You are good for the knowledge. You are good for the concept, but you are not able to study the questions in a right manner. You are in a hurry. You are not practicing in the right manner to read the question. Then you will lose the marks. Even you are competent, but not able to qualify. So read the question carefully, the important thing. Candidate who select 3 statements will also receive no marks. In addition, when answering a number entry questions, candidate must ensure they are entering their answer in correct format in the stated requirement. For example, if examiner mention euro per dollar, examiner mention 4 decimal places. So you have to you have to mention with the 4 decimal places. You have to calculate with euro per dollar, not $2 per euro. If a number being requested millions, then will be in M after the number entry box. Oh, yes. If a candidate full answer, that is 1.3 million box rather than 13 million rather than 13, this will be marked incorrect. If there is no format specified, answer may be given integer or 1 or 2 decimal place. That is also important. Exam system is configured to allow correct answer under these formats to be awarded available marks. So these formatting also very much important. Is that clear, all of you? Can you please reply me? Is this first phase of session valuable for you? Do reply me. Now, take a 10 minutes break. Then we will meet for the section B aspect. For the section B. Then we will discuss the section B part. Thank you very much. Take a break for the 10 minutes. Thank you. Now, second phase of the session. Section B type questions. And the very important thing. First, we have to read the important aspect. Section B test candidates' knowledge on a number of topics in more detail. Then in section A, means the details of the exam, it's more than the section A. And 3 case questions contain 5 2-mark objective questions. Means each case of OTQ having 5 questions. Here an example case question on the topic business finance. And this is what about March, June 2021. Now this is what about the question. I strongly suggest read it once and response to question number 1. Response to question number 1. Now come on. Response to question number 1. This is the point. Yes, now your time starts. Your participation is very much important for these revision sessions. Now come on.